Hi, we're here today with Gabriella Mason-Buck. Gabriella, can you tell us a little bit about you?
So I'm Gabriella. I come from King's College University in London. I'm a full-time forensic DNA scientist, and I'm also studying part-time, so I'm in my 5th year of a part-time PhD.
Wow.
In metagenomics.
Okay. Tell us about that. What is that?
So metagenomics, there's a lot of words going around about like the microbiome and the human microbiome, but metagenomics is not just looking at the bacterial viral content, it's also looking at things like animal DNA, plant DNA, kind of everything you can find at a scene. So if you touch something, what can you pick up and what kind of information can you gain from that sample?
That's amazing, and it's come so far. So how does that work? You're presenting, and it's a map of London. Tell us about that.
So this is a really interesting project. So it's a project that was initially created by Weill Cornell Medical School here in the US. And they actually went around swabbing the New York Underground. So what they then decided to do was actually open it up to all the different countries that have transit systems. So what we've done is we've actually sampled all of the stations in London to see if we can try and find out what kind of microbes and what kind of plant, animal, human DNA is present within that specific location to try and actually map out London based on what kind of things are there and what's present.
I can't imagine what you might find in a transit system.
Yeah, so interestingly, initially the studies kind of showed some things that kind of did scare people a little because there's no understanding. But a lot of the things that we found are really natural and normal in the environment.
Okay.
And obviously loads of humans travel through there every day, so you're constantly changing the kind of environment that's there and all the different DNA that's present. So yeah, it's been a really interesting project.
That's amazing. What were some of the challenges doing something like that?
So some of the challenges are also kind of like the authorities, so kind of explaining to the authorities what you're doing, not scaremongering and not scaring the public. We've had lots of interesting questions about what we're up to, but actually as soon as you start kind of communicating, and we've done quite a lot of public engagement as well, so really trying to get the public involved and get them to understand what metagenomics and microbial forensics is, really.
That's fascinating. What do you do with the information?
So the data that we've obtained at the moment, we're currently trying to work out, can we differentiate between the different countries? So at the moment we've got 58 kind of cities or locations involved in the project. And what we're trying to work out is if you have a sample from somewhere that's an unknown sample, can you either predict the city it comes from, the country it comes from, just to try and give some intelligence, so kind of a forensic intelligence point of view, really.
Wow, that's very interesting, especially with everybody participating. How is it being used now? I mean, is it in practice or is that coming in the future?
Yeah, so currently it's not in practice. Metagenomics is such a new field that actually we're still doing a lot of background research. So this is kind of where my PhD fits in, because I was really excited that we might be able to say, oh my gosh, this is Waterloo Station in London, but we've had to strip it back slightly. So there's lots of things like background contamination and just the kind of DNA that's in the air. How is that affecting the samples that you're obtaining? But I do think we can give this a go and we can actually try and work out, hopefully at some point, where the different locations across London might have been.
That's really fascinating. How did you get involved in this? I mean, what was your path to come to this?
Yeah, so I have quite an interesting path. When I was at school, I kind of wasn't too interested in any subject in particular. Kind of loved science, loved a bit of maths, and I was always really good at kind of problem solving. So when it came to choosing university, forensic science kind of popped out, something I hadn't really considered before. And then since 2008, when I started my undergraduate degree, I've kind of continued in the field of forensics, and then kind of specialised into the DNA field. And this topic actually came up with a kind of discussion. I really wanted to do further research, and I had a discussion with both of my boss at the time, and now they're both my supervisors, about what kind of topic I could go into that was slightly different than anyone else was doing in our unit, but was still something that was kind of on the intelligence side. So I used to do a lot of work on kind of the ancestry stuff, so predicting ancestry was where my master's project was at. So I kind of still wanted to look at the things of when you have a sample, you don't know who it is or where it's come from, what else can you find out about that sample? and just fell in love with DNA forensics, really.
It's really amazing. I love hearing about it. So how has the symposium been for you? I believe it's your first year.
It's my first year, yeah. I was really excited. So when I put in the abstract, I just thought, there's no chance for a talk, but I still really wanted to come, just to kind of experience the symposium in a different light. I've really enjoyed the policy. So the policy stuff for me has been really interesting because that kind of fits in with my job role and also some of the teaching that we carry out as well. So it's been quite nice to actually see how things are done here and how people are kind of looking at forensics across the world and debating, should we use this technology? Is it ready yet? How much more research do we need to do? That sort of thing. And meeting everybody here, everyone's so lovely. It's been really, really enjoyable so far. So I'm looking forward to the rest of it.
That's wonderful to hear. We're so happy you're here and presenting. I think that's, yeah. And I love the analogy of a map. I think that makes it so friendly for people who don't know what this is yet.
Yeah, and that's the big part of this, is actually trying to communicate something that is very kind of scientific and very basic biology focused. Is trying to actually get that out to the public and make it a bit more understandable. So I hope when the talk comes, I'll be able to show everybody what that's all about.
I think it will be wonderful. What's next for you after this?
So after this, I would really love to continue this research. I think we've got many, many years of research on this. So I think complete the PhD, stay at King's. I really enjoy working at King's. It's a really great place to work. And hopefully move up the ladder into the academic kind of field, continue with the research and the teaching. Absolutely love the teaching as well. So that's quite nice.
That sounds wonderful. Gabriella, thank you so much for being with us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.